as we go up, we're going to take this path here. Again, we have the succulent here from Chile, the calendrinia is fine. Lavenders we have all growing here. We've got rock rose. This area gets a lot of sun, so these are all really heat tolerant, drought tolerant. This one here is a native, and if you want to have fun with kids and stuff, have them just kind of rub their fingers through it because it's got a real strong lemony taste to this. And there's a lot, these are all about to explode with yellow flowers here. This grows really fast, so you can, this could be clipped back once a year and just keep it really tight. Yeah. See, once you just touch it, yeah, you get that. But see, even with the rock rose here, as these start to grow in, you won't see any of the bark mulch anymore. It'll grow in together, but if it gets to be too much, again, these could be cut back. They can be cut back hard and they'll grow back really strong, okay? Mostly we have other roses. We have a Chiapas sage, more rock roses there. There is a bird of paradise growing up on the other side by the stairs. The only maintenance that needs is after the flowers fade, you just to cut those flower stalks out and throw those away.
These are lavenders?
These are lavenders here. These are the ones that need the once or twice pruning back. And you could always feel free to cut some of those and bring them in the house and stuff too. So
when you say pruning back, it's all the flower stalks gets cut off? Is that what you mean by pruning back?
well, after these flowers fade, when the blue flowers, they start to just kind of go gray there, then you can take and cut all that back, and then just when you cut, that'll happen, this will all grow up a little taller, and then you can kind of cut them back. Some people cut them back almost to the same size they are now, even though they get to be a lot wider and taller. But I like to cut them back by about a third, no more than a third when you're growing. But it's after they finish blooming. Okay?
Okay.
Roses in the back, rock roses. This rock rose there looks a little sickly. And again, it could be too much irrigation or too little irrigation. Those are usually the issues with that. But the one on the left and the right, they look healthy, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But I would just wait with that. And if anything needs to be replaced, we have the plant list on the legends, and you just look at that. You can look at that and replace it with the same, or
so Jensen has a guarantee for a year, right?
Jensen has a guarantee for a year on all the plant
material. So just identify
material.
it. We get simply a list, and then we'll give it to Jensen.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, okay. Again, this is Santolini here again. They have these little yellow flowers.
They're so cute.
Yeah. So if you get 100 of these growing on there, then you can see how that can kind of weigh them down. That's when you kind of cut those back. But with the blue and the yellow, they're nice complementary colors. Looking out here right now, again, we've got more of the same candidates here. We have the Hebes up there. We have more of the Santolina. There's little small blue flowers right above the roses. That's called catmint or nepeta. And that'll grow quite a lot. And usually by the end of the summer, it just kind of explodes. And you could cut that back fairly hard too. So even though a lot of the plants don't need any pruning, there are some like the lavenders, this small catmint here, a little bit on the roses, and a little bit on the sage. They will take cutting back here, but none of these need cutting back more than twice a year. Okay. The bird of paradise here. We have the same type of plants over here as we had in other places. Again, rock roses here. We have that big laurel prunus, which will get quite large there against the fence. And we still have the Texas ligustrum in the back there. This is Escalonia, which will get fairly tall here too. And this is Pittosporum, and I don't know why it's turning all yellow. That's interesting. We'll have to look at that. And that's another variety of rock rose in here. But we'll have to follow this and check in with Jensen on these, because it's usually a sign of being chlorotic, not getting enough fertilizer or something else going on with that.
Okay.
But I would give them a little chance to get established here, and we look at those in the spring and see how they're doing. More of the same growing up here. See, those are the same plant, those 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. that's what they should look like, even though they're kind of small.
These ones? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So they're
Okay.
turning kind of yellow. Usually it means they need iron, so as a fertilizer, but
There's something called blood.
blood meal, you can do the blood meal. That works, helps keep the dairy away too. So as we come up here,
Especially if
we
it's
have more
deer
of these,
blood.
that's, and again, that rhamnus, the tall growing shrubs we had before. And that's that's kind of a dwarf Boston ivy that'll grow over here. That also turns red in the fall, drop its leaves. They're supposed to get about 18 to 20 feet long in each direction there. And then we have, this is osmanthus growing around here. This is really nice and fragrant.
These ones?
I'm sorry, this is the osmanthus.
Okay.
These are nice and fragrant. They'll grow up about 8 or 10 feet tall. So you see you have, in time, it's really going to change and look different as these get taller. The redwoods are going to grow up, magnolias and everything else. So the important thing is to get that screening. And after 5 or 10 years, you know, we could talk again. You might want to add a few more things underneath that. But I think for now, the screening is the focal point. So again, we have back here a lot of the same suspects. Calandrinia, lavenders. Here's where it gets a little tighter, where we might need a little more of your help, Francisco, in keeping these pruned back, because we don't want these to grow over into the lawn. It's okay if they hang over on this side a little bit, but we like to keep the lawn edge clean, so these might need to be pruned over a little bit more. But you see how as these stalks grow up and get tall, when I say cut them back, they might get cut back to this length. That's about, say, a third of that stalk there. So you're taking some of the leaves off, but mostly it's the stalk, okay? And that'll cause new growth to come out the sides. This is the same flowering maple here.
This is so much prettier than that one over there.
Those are yellow flowering, these are the white, but again, this is coming back, but I don't know if this is all from the deer damage we had.
It is.
Okay.
But they should come back here. They've been cut back, and you can see there's already new growth coming in. But they'll fill up in here fairly soon. We have hebes in here. That's a Fatsia or a Falsaralia that'll grow up tall in the shade. Azaleas, hydrangeas, hebes. At the top we have the agapanthus again. And then we have right by the asphalt, there's a Daphne odora. That's a plant has variegated leaves. We can walk there, and it's extremely fragrant. Usually starting around December through February. So
Is this tree?
that's right here. Yeah, in the
What's it called
corner.
again?
That's called Daphne odora.
Daphne.
Daphne. So that'll spread here to fill out. Again, very fragrant. Here's the Weihnachtsbaum.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is cool.
Christmas tree.
This is turning. How do we make sure that it goes straight? It's turning a little bit crooked.
Well, I think it's going to want to grow
It'll be fine.
straight up anyway. So
Well.
I wouldn't worry about it too much. I think a little bit. You see, it's not perfectly formed, so a little bit of contours, I think, is.
Is there anything special that needs to be done?
With this one, very little.